All the council sought false testimony against Jesus to put him to death, but found none. Even though many false witnesses came forward, they found none. But at last 2 false witnesses came forward and said, "This fellow said, 'I am going to destroy the temple of God and build it in 3 days.'" And the high priest arose to him and said to him, "Do you answer nothing? What is it these men testify against you?" But Jesus kept silent. And the high priest answered and said to him, I put you under oath by the living God. Tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God." Oh, I'm so sorry, one more verse. Jesus said to him, "It is as you said. Nevertheless, I say to you, hereafter you will see the Son of God sitting at the right hand of the power and coming on the clouds of heaven." So out of these verses, my favorite were verse 59 and 61. Verse 59, basically the men are saying these men were insistent on finding something wrong with Jesus, but they could not find one statement against Jesus. They found nothing. In verse 60 it says, it even reiterates the fact by saying a second time at the end of verse 60, Jesus was perfect. He was blameless. He was perfect in heaven and stayed perfect until all the sin was cast onto him. In verse 61, it also says, they took something Jesus said out of context and twisted it into a way that would benefit them. Something that's really sad to see, though, it is as they were stuck on themselves to see things through Jesus' point of view. Just before Jesus predicts the destruction of the temple in Matthew 24, in Matthew 23, near the end, he states, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the one who kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to her. How often I wanted to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you were not willing."
The keywords here, we were not willing. It's a swift punch in the gut, I feel. And it just really shows how badly God wanted to have a relationship with us, but cannot due to our own unwillingness. And in verse 62 to 63, it just, you can really feel that despite how many were unwilling to have a relationship, Jesus stepped down from his heavenly place for the little who were with him. He stayed quiet in the midst of his trial, even though he knew it was going to be completely unfair. He entered a broken world and held out to the end for us. Okay, quick question, guys. How many of you guys have pets? Come on, raise your hand, don't be afraid. Show me, okay? I know I have pets myself. I have a dog and a cat. So imagine you left the comfort of your home, everything you once knew, to go outside, live with your pets. You have to live with them, you have to behave like an animal. You run around on all fours, naked and cold. You eat animal food and sleep outside. It's weird, and it's a graphic picture, but that's exactly what God did when he entered the world. He became human, and not just any human. He didn't come as a king or as, not even a servant of a king. He came really in a lowly manner. He was born in a manger, surrounded by smelly animals, and surrounded by probably animal poop too, and was born into a poor family, and all of that for us. He walked among us, and he felt what we felt, and he experienced what we experienced. He knows how pain feels. He knows how it feels to be betrayed and abandoned. He knows the pain of loss and the weight of sin. It did come all onto him.